Will the sponsor yield for a few more questions quickly?
Will you yield, Mr. Ortiz?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
The sponsor yields.
Thank you. As has been stated, our conference was locked out of the process until a couple of hours ago. But we heard some rumors, or I heard some rumors, that this legislation before us that combines the appropriation and the expansion of executive authority originally started as two bills. One for the appropriation and one for the expansion of executive authority. Is that the case?
No, that's not the case. Not really. That's not.
It was always the one bill with the combination?
One bill. It started with one bill and one bill only.
Why not split the bill into an appropriation that we can agree that we should get moving with these acquisitions and this funding to fight the disease?
Because at this point, these both issues has to be addressed together. They both be needed at this point.
I think we have widespread agreement that the $40 million or some funding and some attention should go towards fighting coronavirus disease 19. And I think there's a lot of disagreement. In fact, in the other chamber, there's bipartisan disagreement on the executive authority. So we have time. We could pass the financial part tonight, and then we could wait till the light of day tomorrow or the next day. Give us some time to kick the tires. Give us some time when, as was stated before, we've been working a long day. We can see all the unintended consequences. We can see all the angles. Why not wait before we expand executive authority? What's the reason not to split the bills into two?
Well, we are going to be doing the budget hopefully, in the next 30 days. And we can, you always, and every single one of us can always wade into the budget process. At this point, this is what we're doing today. I think this is a proactive way of dealing with a public health issue that we have in New York State as we speak. And I think it's very important that we go ahead and move forward.
I didn't catch what you said about the budget process. Can you repeat?
Well, I think this is a very important moment now to do this and to act proactively.
What harm would be done if we waited until, say, Wednesday, when we could talk to some experts, talk to our constituents, the people that we represent, before we do that? What would be the harm that would occur if we waited the normal 3-day aging period?
I said, the bottom line here is that it still can be done, but we are here today, and I think it's about 10:30 right now. And I think
it's almost tomorrow. That's my concern.
Well, we will. I think the quicker we add, the better we will be. The state of New York, I think we need to be proactive. We need to be in a position that we be able to serve the people of that center here, of the state of New York.
Thank you. And I'm looking at the bill, and the bill's only 2 pages, so we can all read it. There's a feather in our cap. The bill's actually 50 lines, but I have to go all the way down to line 40 out of 50 before I read coronavirus disease 19. And the first 35, 38 lines are about the executive authority. And the last few lines are about the funding. The funding is limited to the disease. The $40 million, I think we all agree, should go to fight coronavirus disease 19. Very specific. We're narrowing the ability of the executive to spend the money. I think we all agree on that, or most of us agree on that. The executive power in the first 38 lines of the bill is not limited to the coronavirus disease fight. Why not?
I'm sorry, say that again. So, these problems are for all kinds of disasters. And the fact of the matter that maybe it's a little broader. So, we are...
Can I stop you right there?
Sure.
Currently, the executive has the power to deal with a disaster.
Well, this is an unexpected type of
Most disasters
disaster.
are.
This is an epidemic. This is a different issue that we had to deal with. And that is the reason why we're here tonight.
Right. So why did we limit it for the funding but not for the executive power? Why does the funding have to be specific to coronavirus disease 19, but the executive authority doesn't? Why don't we limit the executive authority to dealing with this outbreak? Because it's so important and it's so timely.
Well, let me just translate what I've been saying to me. It's a couple of issues here. Issue number one, the language could be a little broader, but the The purpose of the allocation, if you the earmark of the $40 million, have a specific purpose, which it also have a sunset, which is with that when that sunset hit, that money is gone. So I don't see any way out that the governor will be able to abuse the $40 million allocation as we speak.
You don't think an executive could abuse his executive power?
The money is allocated for a specific purpose, and that's what we are here for.
Do you know that this governor in 2017, not that long ago, used his executive authority, declared a disaster because the federal government changed the tax laws and allowed people to file their taxes at a different time? I don't think anybody, until Governor Cuomo came up with that novel legal theory, thought that a change in the federal tax code was a, quote, disaster that invoked enhanced executive power here in New York State. And yet this governor found a way through that novel legal theory to expand his power. So are you concerned that he could abuse it?
Well, let me just what I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the actions that if we don't take any tonight, and I'm very concerned about the coronavirus that we have a very clear signal that is real, is happening globally, and we have seen some news, and I think that we are responsible enough as leaders and legislators to take the stand that we have to take, and you have a possibility of doing two things, of voting for my bill or voting against my bill.
I think that's a false choice. Don't you agree? Couldn't we have split this? We've only been working on this for a day. We could split it into two bills. We could let the executive power increase, see the light of day, let the people see it.
I do believe that we have a bill.
Why is it all or nothing? Because we could do it all. We could do it all.
We have a
do
bill
the
on the
executive
table
power
that
right, and we
address
could fight
two
this
issues.
disease with money.
One
last question, sir. We're fighting this at the state level. The federal government is fighting it at the federal level. That's our system. If the President of the United States went to the Congress and said, tie funding to fight the coronavirus to an increase in my executive powers, would you support that?
Let me just say this to you. That will be a very interesting question with a very interesting accent. We are in the state of New York, so this is where we are now. So once I'm in Congress, I will answer that question.
It's a direct parallel. We're a legislature. We're supposed to check the executive. We're fighting the same disease. We have an executive. It's a direct question. Feel free to answer it.
Well, I think I give you my answer. I think that I'm here in the state legislature. We're doing this tonight. We're trying to get this passed by. And if I was in Congress, there would be a different dynamic with a different president. I would probably say yes.
You would give President Trump increased executive
Trump.
authority?
I said a different president. I will.
My vote might be different with a different governor, too, as with a lot of people in this room. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.